just in case.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Bob liked to quote His Excellency John Mahama, who once told him of power and succession that one must leave when the applause is loudest. Bob left when the applause was loudest. There is a man I would like to thank for reminding me in the midst of my grief that Bob was a different sort of person. On Tuesday, as our convoy made its way to carry a call for Bob's cremation, an elderly gentleman in a bright orange jacket stood on the side of the road, raised his right arm in the air in salute. As our convoy slowed down, he shouted, "Bob, we love you. You have done well. Go well, Bob." It was someone that I will probably never meet again, a Kenyan like myself who felt that his duty that morning was to stand on the side of the road and announce to the world that Bob had left a mark in his life. Nothing more. This morning, I'd like to read a speech to you that Bob gave to a group of eager children. I have adapted it a little to suit today's celebration. The message is simple but important, and one that I feel epitomizes the idea behind the man I fondly called Mr. Collymore. The story is lifted from Horton Hears a Who by Dr. Seuss, a speech by Bob Collymore in 2013. A person's a person, no matter how small. One of my favorite stories is about an elephant that hears little people on a speck of dust shouting for help. The elephant does everything in his power to protect the speck of dust because the little people who live on that speck of dust have asked for his help. In a gentle way, the elephant sets out to help the little people. The elephant places the speck of dust on a clover so that he can carry the speck to safety. But no one else can hear the voices coming from the speck of dust on the clover. Not the kangaroo and his baby kangaroo, not the monkeys or the eagle or any of the other larger animals in the jungle. He is made fun of by the kangaroo, and eventually the clover with the speck of dust is taken from him by a troop of monkeys and carried away by a swift eagle. Eventually, the unforgiving eagle throws the clover with the little people on it into a huge field of clovers. The poor elephant, who has been chasing after the eagle, searches and searches all 3 million clovers in that field, night and day, until he finds his clover with a speck of dust and the little people on it. The elephant does not rest until he is sure that the little people are safe. The elephant refuses to give up on little people, even though everyone else around him has. He stands by what he believes and defends it. He defends little people even when the animals threaten to cage the elephant for hearing the small voices. When I was a little boy, my grandmother took in children whose parents could not take care of them. I remember sharing a bed with children and sometimes waking up when none of them had peed in bed. Growing up, I had little brothers and sisters who I wasn't related to except through love. My grandmother was like the elephant that heard the noise from the small people on that speck of dust. She didn't have much. We were poor, but she reminded me that whatever little we had, we could always share it. She did this because a person's a person, no matter how small. I look out at you this morning. I wonder, do you want what is best for this world? Well, you see, wanting what is best for this world isn't only about saving the world. It's also about the little things that you can do to make a big difference. It's about helping because you can. The company I work for, Safaricom, helps people because it can. We go out of our way to bring fresh water to villages that don't have it. We take medical camps to places where there are no hospitals. We build schools where children are being taught under a tree. We work in those schools because we can make a difference. We know that selling airtime has no value if the world cannot be a better place. We work with those students because we want the best for our world by giving those students the opportunity to be whatever they dream about becoming. It is not because their parents refuse it for them. It is because we live in a world where some people have a lot and some people have very little. It is a blessing to have a lot. It is a blessing to have a roof over your head, shoes on your feet, food for your stomach, and a bed to get into tonight. But the biggest blessing is that you can do a lot with what you have, no matter your size. You can do a lot especially for others who don't have very much. In my favorite story about the elephant and the speck of dust, the elephant is big and has the ability to make people listen, and he uses that ability. He knows he has to protect the people smaller than him on that speck of dust because a person's a person, no matter how small. And the thing is, you're never too small to make a difference in this world. At the end of my favorite story, the elephant is able to save the little people because the smallest of them speaks out and yells for help. In the end, it is the voice of the smallest person on that small speck of dust that saves all the little people and the elephant. Sometimes, all you have to do is to speak up when you think something is not fair. Speaking up is the basic idea of activism. It is calling something out that is wrong so that you can find a way to change it, to make it right. Speaking out is one way of making things right. Doing what we can is another way. We can do a lot by being considerate of our friends and family, our neighbors, our little brothers and sisters, and our surroundings. We need to remember to see each other, to say hello, and to say thank you. Being considerate means caring how you treat yourself, others, and what is around you. You have to be gentle. The big elephant could easily have crunched the speck of dust with little people on it. He was so big that he couldn't see the little people, but he was gentle with them, and this is what saved them. But being kind and considerate to others can make you stand out in an unexpected way. As you begin to shine because you know what you want and you stand for what you believe in, you will start to meet more and more people who will not like you. There will be those who will envy you, those who make fun of you, those who try to make you feel guilty for being who you are. So here's my advice. Never be ashamed of who you are. Never apologize for what you have. Never let people decide how you should feel about yourself. Be proud of yourself and your achievements. Believe in yourself first. Stand up for what you believe in. Speak out when you think something is not fair. Be considerate to those around you, especially for who and what is smaller than you. Because a person's a person, no matter how small. Ordinarily, when we pay respect to those we love, we give 1 minute of silence. Bob has chosen to give us all 8 minutes of music. The piece that is about to play, Adagio for Strings by Samuel Barber, was his request for his memorial and a gift to you all.